Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Very interesting questions. I am finding it difficult to understand that God is not somewhere outside, but is only within. Let me stop right here before reading the whole thing. We can say, Ishavasyam idam sarvam. And in another place, in the Mundakopanishad, it says, Yad Brahma tat purastat. Means whatever is in front is Brahman. And whatever is behind is what? Brahman. Whatever is below, adhastat, Brahman. Whatever is uparishtat, above, is Brahman. Everything is Brahman. This is what it is. So it's not inside, outside. Inside, from the standpoint of this body-mind-sense complex, to which one feels confined. That's only we say inside. Otherwise, from the standpoint of Brahman, everything is inside. And there is no inside, outside. There is no space, is still what? Yeah, space and time are not outside of Brahman. So if I say Brahman is within, then Brahman is qualified by what? Space. Confined by space. If I say Brahman is outside, God is outside, then also God becomes qualified by, constrained by space. So whatever is there, Purastat, Adhastat, Uparishtat, Prishthatat, and everything, all the directions are Brahman. Inside is Brahman, outside is Brahman. That is the teaching. So, it's not that it is, Bhagavan is not somewhere outside but only within. And then further, you say, I still feel like I'm a small jiva moving around in the Jagat and everything I do is sent to a higher mainframe, which is God. Many people think like this. Yes, this has got an abiding presence in many people's minds. If there is no external God, who am I praying to? Yes, these questions are very pertinent towards the end of the course. They all come at the end of the course. Who am I praying to when Bhagavan is within? If Bhagavan is within, then who is giving me the results of action? If Bhagavan is non-separate from me, then who is the one I am praying to? Am I saying Atmane Namaha? Am I saying that? Am I doing puja to myself? This is a pervasive question that happens, and the cause of this is the mixing up of two orders of reality. What is the first order of reality? Vyavaharikam Sat, everyday empirical reality. And what is the other one? Paramarthikam Sat, absolute reality and relative reality. When we combine them and make a dish called khichdi, then this is the confusion that happens inside our head. Natural. Because we are studying every day. What are we studying? The ear of the ear and the mind of the mind and the eye of the eye and all this we are studying. We are studying at a very high level of assimilation of this vision that all that is there is Brahman, and you, whoever the I who thinks I am separate, is not at all separate. This is what we are studying. But in our everyday reality, what are we experiencing? Separateness. Why? Because the exposure still needs more exposure, more shravanam, more mananam. Everything is needed because we are still beginning. It's just we are entering into this knowledge, and so it is possible for the realities to get mixed up. So when we talk about Bhagavan not being other than you, what are we talking about? Paramarthikam Sat. When we talk about the need for prayer, surrender, namaha, and then relating to Bhagavan in meditation, in kaikam prayer, body physicalized prayer, verbal prayer, manasam prayer, mental prayer, everything we are talking at what level? Relative level. Both are important. The relative level is important because of the presence of Atma Ajnanam. I am completely identified with this body, mind, sense complex. Because I am identified with this body, mind, sense complex, what happens as a result? There is a difficulty. And what is the difficulty? I don't know what to do. I feel lost. I am alienated from Bhagavan. I look for Bhagavan. I want to please Bhagavan. Somebody should pat me and approve of me and say, Shabash. Shabash means congrats. You have done well. You are good. Nothing is wrong with you. I need somebody to approve of me. And when I feel helpless, I need some prayer to hold on to. And I need to invoke Bhagavan as Mata, Pita, protector of some kind, without which I am not comfortable. This is a very beautiful and honest question. I am not comfortable saying, all is well, Bhagavan is me. Because if I knew that, then what? I wouldn't be here. Correct? I would be somewhere enjoying being ekaki in the Himalayas. I would be just by myself in the Himalayas. But the fact that I am here, that means that there is still a struggle of assimilation, and the two levels are not fully talking to one another, in the sense that the Vyavaharika Satta has not been completely eliminated from my consciousness. That will happen after you study Gauda Padacharya's Mandukya Karika, where he will say, what Jagat? When you start talking of the Jagat, he will say, what Jagat? Where you are seeing a Jagat. So it's just like saying, it's just like saying on a smaller level, what pot? You are seeing pot? I am not seeing any pot at all. What pot? All there is what? Clay. So this is the thing. These are the two levels. So on one level, what do I see? Pot. And when I see pot, I take the measurement and I want to make sure that this is the biggest pot there is. And if this pot comes, then I'll be very scared. No, because this one has already swallowed one pot. Inside it has swallowed in such a way it won't come out. Yeah. So with great difficulty it came out. Yes. So Nigirnaha, swallowed up this pot. And then, so therefore, we'll measure the pot, and then we'll take the pot very seriously, and then we'll say it has a little bit of a break here, poor thing is a crackpot. All these things we can say when we look at it as a pot. But when we look at it as clay, the Namarupa becomes what? Entirely immaterial. So similarly, when we look at Bhagavan from the standpoint of what? This body, mind, sense complex, and from the standpoint of Vyavaharikam Sat, from the relative existence, then we need somebody to hold on to. And this is what is important. We can't bypass this stage. You are absolutely correct. This Bhagavan, you can say, is the truth of me and is also the the one who is the giver of the fruits of karma, and also the one who is the what is that called, who is manifest as the order. Swamiji keeps talking about one word, niyati, order. This is the order. Order in the form, manifest in the form of many infallible orders. Karma is also an order, and so when you pray, what happens? Some of the old karmas that are standing in the way of wish fulfillment are neutralized. Why? Because you are initiating new karmas, and these new karmas also have karma phala. So, we don't worry about the other one yet. You can just say, Bhagavan is in my heart, Bhagavan is in all hearts, but Bhagavan is also there as the creator of the universe. And who am I? I am an individual connecting to the total. That is the prayer. And it's a healthy way to go about it, because we can't bypass the relative and go to the absolute when the relative distance, the distance on the Vyavaharika level has not been understood or bridged by knowledge. So it is a healthy way to look at that and saying, I'm talking to Bhagavan. And what else? Then are prayers answered? Yes, all prayers are answered. That is also part of the order. Sometimes the answer is no. Yes. But we are not accustomed to hearing that. So we say, oh, my prayers are not getting answered, my prayers are not getting answered. Answer is no, okay? It was already answered. Or not yet. Try again. So that is the thing. And then, our prayers answered and the grace received based on one's karma. Yes, it is based on one's karma. Yeah, so why does one person, two people pray for the same thing? One person gets yes right away. The other person gets no. Why is that? Is God partial? We have to ask, no. There is another niyati here, there is another order, it is the karmic order. Your own karma is standing in the way, creates a block. Whereas the other person who got it right away, their karma is not there, little more forgiving. So, yeah, it's the karmic order. And then it is attributed to karma phala, your own karmic order. This is what this is what it is. And so, yeah, prayers are answered. Then there was some question on karma. Let us look at that. When I have a sincere doubt, all doubts are sincere, yeah, no problem, yes. And I am going to answer it also sincerely, yes, no problem. In many scriptures, it is said that everything happens according to God's will. Bhagavad Gita says in the 61st verse, Ishvaras sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantrarudhani mayaya. Meaning that this Bhagavan, this is a very good segue to this. This Bhagavan, who is the ruler, the creator of all, sits in the heart of what? Of every being. Hriddeshe tishtati. Brahmayan, and makes people wander. How? As though how wander? Mayaya, by the Maya Shakti, makes everyone wander as though we are robots. Yantra rudhani iva. Yantra rudha means what? Like as though we are fixed to some kind of a machine. Puppets. Okay, even if we take an ancient example, puppets. So there are strings from the hands, legs, everything. So they go like this in jerky movements. But that's because we made the puppet show. In Bhagavan's puppet show, the movements are very smooth. Who is to say that I am raising my hand using my free will? Or was I supposed to raise my hand at 8 o'clock sharp in this particular hall at this particular time? And why am I raising the right hand? Is it because this is my dominant hand, or is it karmic that it is my dominant hand and that is why I am raising it? We can go on and on. Okay, but then let's see further what it says. So this is the 61st verse towards the end of the Bhagavad Gita, and the Upanishads and Yoga Vasishtha also talk about prarabdha and destiny being already set. That's kind of depressing. If everything is already set. Let's read further. If everything is ultimately predestined and already unfolding according to God's plan, then what is the purpose of living this life? My sentiments exactly. What is the point? Why are we here? Yes. Am I reading this at 8:01 sharp because I'm programmed to read this? And you are listening to this question at 8:01 point whatever sharp because you are programmed to listen? Let's listen some more, okay? And then what is the purpose of living this life? What is the role of personal effort, choice and responsibility for a seeker? Very nice question. So, we have to understand what is karma and karma phala. So karma, we say there is karma. Karma phala is there. Now, this is a non-verifiable belief. Who has gone and seen what we did in the last life? Have we gone and seen? No. There is a very big curtain between oneself and the previous life. Thank God. Because in this life also, what all I have done, I can barely accept. I have so much guilt, so much hurt as a jiva. One has so much guilt and hurt, and then if you thought about last life, oh, I was a dog, I abandoned my puppies, oh no, I was a bad mother, I was a bad father, all the guilt will come. So therefore, there is a thick veil between this janma and then the previous janmas. Why? Oh, it's so cruel, I need to know what I have done. Trust me, you don't need to know. You don't need to know. Because already one is a big mess. Imagine if you knew what you did in life number 4, life number 5. First of all, there is no life number 4, 5, 3, 2, 1 because it is anadi. So what did you do? What did I do? Who knows? Doesn't matter. Right now there is a new life, and then yes, the previous karmas are there, and then you are given a fresh slate to write on. This is actually a very good thing. So now, what is karma? This is again, like I said, a non-verifiable belief that something I did in the last janma, or whichever janma, doesn't have to be immediately last, previous janmas what I did, or earlier in my life what I did, gets registered, and then the karma phala has to be experienced. Ati utkatam papam tribhir masaihi tribhir varshaihi tribhir masaihi tribhir dinaihi you have to kshayet, or it has to be experienced. What has to be experienced? Ati utkataihi punya papaihi. I forgot the whole verse, but something like this. So what does it say? If ati utkata means extremely forceful punya and papa both have to be experienced within 3 days, 3 months or 3 years. So, those of you who are in the 3-year course, ... okay, so possible. So then, so like this, 3 months, again 3-month course people are also included. I had told you once, if you show your horoscope, they will say 3 months little difficult, afterwards everything will be okay. That's what they will tell. Because you can't eat what you want, you can't go where you want, you are an inmate, same word is used. Ashram, inmate, and the other place. What's the other place? There also, what is the word? Inmate. Yes. So, all these things are there. So then, Ati Utkata Papa and Punya has to be experienced here itself, it says. Now, we don't know, this is non-verifiable belief. It's just a belief. But then, if we have Shraddha, because there is no reason, non-verifiable belief means what? It cannot be proven or disproven. If I say I believe in karma, it is what? Belief. And if you say I don't believe in karma, what is it? Belief. It cannot be proven, nor it can be what? Disproven. It just is. But in a way, we believe in it. Why? Because it's like a shock absorber. Karma is not fatalistic. Karma phala theory is not at all fatalistic. It is more to be seen as a shock absorber, because otherwise we'll be always blaming ourselves. Now you can say something I did, I don't know what, some karma is coming. You can also blame the stars. That's kind of fun, yeah. You just say, okay, it's Shani doing his antics, it's Rahu always in the wrong house, and it is Ketu, Rahu, Shani and Mangala, these four. These four are the mischief makers. They are called malefics. And there is no way to fix them. They are always in the wrong place. And so you can do that. So in a way, it's a shock absorber. So whatever I had done in the previous lives can come. Supposing let's say somebody has a experience of 3,000 rupees being stolen. It's not that it will be exact. Some lifetimes ago, 3,000 rupees I had stolen, therefore I have to give it back. Bhagavan has a sense of humor, and also besides you have to what should I say, you have to make space for inflation, because even if 10 lifetimes ago you had stolen 30 rupees from somebody and forgotten to give it back, then what? Now it will be what? 3,000 with inflation, interest, everything. Bhagavan calculates interest also. Oh, why 50,000 got lost? I had only taken 5,000 from that person. All this, yes. And mental anguish you caused, that also you have to pay for. So it comes back in very interesting and humorous ways. We will be seeing all this in chapter 4. Very interesting. And where even Lord Krishna gives up talking about karma, he's just gahana karmano gatihi. The way of karma is very dense. We cannot really say much about it. But we see that there has to be a more of a flexible view about this, because what is this karma? Things that I did in my last life. So things that you did in your last life, did that involve free will? Yes. If you had a human life, then only you can collect karma. So as a human being, whatever you did is what? Out of free will. Either you went dharmically and went along with the free will, that where the buddhi told you to do the right things, or you listened to kubuddhi. What is kubuddhi? Wrong advice, wrong things, and then listening to kubuddhi, you did wrong things. Somebody did wrong things. These are the only two possibilities. And so what we call karma, destiny, predestiny, is basically free will that has not... so punya nobody talks about. When anybody is having a good time, they don't say, oh, what punya, wonderful. No. Only when Papa comes, ayyo, what happened? This is what we talk about. And so therefore, here what we have to see is this, that this Papa is based on my own free will, where I chose not to go along with Dharma. So my own free will is coming back to me. So where is predestiny in that? So previous life's free will is this life's karma. And how I use my free will in this life will become what? Next life's karma, or even later on in this life's karma, if it is ati utkata. Intense papa punya has to be experienced here itself, in this life itself. If it is done in this life, so goes the saying in the Dharma Shastra. So therefore, what did you ask here? Yeah. So then, what is the role? Then what is the purpose of living this life? The purpose of living this life is to hone the art of not hurting others and not hurting yourself. Daya, compassion, accommodation, of growing spiritually. And in a word, what is the purpose of this life? To live without targeting others, without targeting yourself, without blaming others, without blaming yourself, without hurting others, without hurting oneself, as far as it is humanly possible. Of course, slip-ups will be there. They will definitely be there. So that's all right. But still, this is the idea. Okay. So then, what is the role of personal effort and choice and responsibility? Responsibility means I walk on the path of what is right. That is what is called samanya dharma. There is no negotiating here. Sometimes when I am very angry, it's okay to kill somebody. Who will say that? Is there an exception? No. That's why it is called samanya dharma, universal dharma it is. You go to any country and you go in any time of history, ancient history, medieval history, modern history, contemporary history, and even in the future, it will never be okay to kill. Even if you go to some other parallel universe, there also it will not, nobody will say that, oh, killing is punya, you will get a prize. No. No religion condones that. It should not, it should not condone that. So no religion, you can't kill in the name of religion, you can't kill in the name of some personal beliefs, you can't kill in the name of God, you can't do that. This is samanya dharma. Then there is vishesha dharma, what is appropriate for me living here at this particular time, in this particular place, in this particular environment. And that is also within samanya dharma. So if samanya dharma is one circle, vishesha dharma is a concentric circle inside the samanya dharma. And then finally I have to ask, what is correct for me? What is correct for me to do? What is right for me to do? That is called swadharma. What is my role in this samanya dharma? How does samanya dharma sit on me? How do I execute samanya dharma in my life? That is a smaller circle inside vishesha dharma. You get swadharma. These dharmas have to guide my life, and I go in tandem with this, even at the cost of sacrificing my personal preferences, even at the cost of sacrificing some comfort, because it's easy to follow dharma when one is comfortable. When there is difficulty, it is difficult to follow dharma. That's why Harishchandra was tested. This king was tested repeatedly. He lost his kingdom, he lost his wealth, his wife, child and him were out on the streets, and everybody stoned them because lot of wrong things happened, some wrong assumptions and everything they made. And then he went to his kingdom was usurped, he went to the forest, they lived there, even there they could not be happy. the child died, like this. So many things happened, and not even a single time he let go of dharma. Dharma is the dharmic nature of a person is not seen when everything is comfortable. The dharmic nature has to come out in adversity. That's why there is a saying, adversity builds character. It's true. It's really true. In adversity only we see what it is. Pujya Swamiji used to say that a human being is like a tea bag. Why? How? How am I like a tea bag? Because the strength of both comes out when they are in hot water. So similarly, if I am in hot water, then only my inner strength comes out, and that is how one grows. So there is no predestiny here. You are making your destiny all the time. You are constructing. You are a co-creator of your destiny. Whose commentary or translation of Yoga Sutras would you recommend for a sincere student to study? I don't know much about Yoga Sutras, so I can't say. I do know that Pujya Swamiji gave talks on the Yoga Sutras. You can look at that. Oh, I answered questions 3 and 4. Here are 1 and 2. Sorry. All right. At least, we didn't start somewhere in the middle. If the main purpose is to understand the teaching of Vedanta, Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures and apply to life, when we have commentaries and translations available, why is learning Sanskrit considered important? Good you waited till now to ask. Yes, so that at least some Sanskrit has gone in as you pondered on this question. So, see, Sanskritam has its own Swarasya. Swarasya means its own, essence, its own something. It is called Deva Vani, Deva Bhasha. So the Bhasha through which all the Devas communicated. Of course, this is a very elitist standpoint, because why would the Devas only communicate in Sanskrit? It is told like that so that we will learn it, okay? It's not that Bhagavan doesn't know Polish or Bhagavan doesn't know Italian. Bhagavan knows everything, all languages. So any language you pray in, it is understood. No problem at all. But the commentaries are all in what? Sanskritam. And yes, you can read the translations. Some of the things do not have very good translations, and that still, even to this day, it is very difficult to translate Bhashya. After going around and with great difficulty, we were able to find one thing for Bhagavad Gita, the one that you are following. At least, even if there are some mistakes, it is decent, more or less decent. So we can understand it. But very difficult to translate Bhashya, because the way we speak in other languages and the way we speak in Sanskrit is different, number one. Secondly, the original scriptures, the Upanishads, they have, there is a lot of pun, there is a lot of word play, and there is a lot of alankara like this, figurative figures of speech, as they call, and different things in poetry, ornamentation, which have their own, which are very delightful to do that. So, to get the whole gamut of what we are studying, it is very important to see the language and discover something for oneself. So, you would not be here if you were not interested in study, in deep study. And then deep study also makes the mind wonder how it will be in the original language. What am I missing? What do I not have if I don't do this? So this way, the study of Sanskrit doesn't make one wonder, because for a short time, at least here for 3 months, you immerse also into the Sanskrit, so you get an idea of the richness of the tradition and the Upanishads. That is why it is considered important. Does the law of attraction really work? Can someone manifest a particular person or a desired kind of life through manifestation or meditation techniques? And if the person can supposedly manifest another individual into their lives, then what happens to the other person's free will? Very good point. Yeah. Actually, I had not thought of that. Yes, what happens to the other person's free will? Yeah. I have summoned them now. Okay, sit here with me, and then what happens to their free will? Good point. How should we understand this from a spiritual perspective? Don't manifest. That's all. Simple. Keep it simple. Okay. So, the law of attraction, I don't know what that means, first of all. Is there? I thought there was only the law of gravitation. I didn't know that there was, I thought there was a law of motion. I've heard of law of gravitation. I've heard of law of motion. I have not heard of the law of attraction. I suppose it means what?
Lights attract money and stuff.
Yeah, manifest things. That's what I'm thinking, manifesting. I don't know how this law works. But maybe some kind of manifesting things, and maybe that's what it is. So let's see what to do here, how to manifest something. Can somebody manifest a particular person or a desired kind of life? I suppose it is possible. But it would still be what? Prayer. Even though you are not addressing Bhagavan, you are keeping on talking about what you want, I want this, and Bhagavan himself feels sad for you and and then gives. Okay, here, take. Yeah. Lakshmi says to Narayana, give, come on, otherwise he'll be whining about this all the time. Give it to him, give it to her. Okay. Here, take. So maybe, but it's still kind of a prayer. Why? Because I'm not controlling everything. We have to understand. So that I am non-separate from Bhagavan, that is, on the level of Paramarthika Sat. But here, in the manifest reality, what is it that I am controlling? The Kena Upanishad says you don't even know what you are going to think next. Kena ishitam preshitam patati manaha. How does the mind fall into thoughts? Even that you are not in control, let alone controlling the weather and closing the eyes and saying, please shower gold coins on me, Lakshmi. And this may not happen. But even if it happens, let's say it happens, we would still regard it as prayer and karma phala. Even though it's not a overt prayer, you're not addressing one Ishta Devata, you're not addressing God in general, you're not addressing God in a particular form, and you are just, you are just keeping on talking about this. Perhaps if it comes, it is still Bhagavat Kripa, or your own karma phala, the karma of praying, engendered a karma phala in the form of this, if there was no standing this thing, karma. So now there is also the person who can manifest everything they want. Who is that? Jnani. Yes, Ishvara-esque Jnani. The Jnani can manifest everything they want. Whatever they want, they can manifest. And this is mentioned in all the Upanishads. Taittiriya Upanishad, right at the beginning, it is mentioned. Where? Sarvan Kaman Samashnute Brahmana Saha. Brahmana Saha means not sitting along with Brahman. That is not the idea. Brahmana Saha in the form of Brahman. Itham Bhute Tritiya. In the form of Brahman, enjoys all the delights. Whatever they want comes. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also it says the Jnani thinks of something and then it happens. Such people are called Satya Sankalpa. Satya Sankalpa means the one who is so much in truth and so much they have. And in order to be a Satya Sankalpa, what is the main qualification? No kama. Yes. You can manifest whatever you want when you don't want anything. Oh, then why will I manifest? Exactly. Yes. That's the whole point. That is how the law of attraction works. The law of attraction works by coming to you. All the things that are attractive come to you when you no longer find them attractive. This is the Vedantic law of attraction. Yes, I don't know about whatever this law of attraction is, but the Vedantic law of attraction is whatever you want comes to you when you sincerely, speaking of sincere, when you sincerely do not want it. You're not pretending not to want it and waiting for it open with one eye and looking around. No. I am completely inside myself. I don't care about it anymore. It's like the story of the fox and the grapes. The fox jumped, and the farmer was clever. The grapes were just tantalizingly out of reach. And then what? And then it jumped, and then said, grapes must be sour. Because it was all very upset. It was tired. So much it had jumped. It had done a lot of aerobics and nothing happened. And then it went away saying grapes are sour. And if we were to Vedantically complete the story, then suddenly a bunch of grapes fell on the fox when it stopped wanting it. That is the law of attraction. So that is there in Vedanta. And then this is a very important part. So supposing if I say, I want to be with this person. Person A says, I want to be with person B, and prays for that. What happens to the person B's free will? Are they a slave? What happened? No. It is person B's also desire and karma to be with person A. It is their desire, it is partly their desire, it is partly their karma. All these things are already figured out. That's why it's called the law of karma. It's a law. Okay. So this is the reality. Let's see what else is there. Yeah, how to understand this from a spiritual perspective. We have seen that. Now, how can the inertness of the mind be established? Oh, this is easy, very easy. Can you watch the mind? Say yes, so we can move on. Yes. Yeah. If you said no, then what will I say? Meet me after class. Yes, everybody knows this. Yeah. So, you can watch the mind. You can say, I have some restlessness coming up. I have anger. Oh, right now the mind is very calm. So, usually what we say, if I say I am not able to watch the mind, that means I have identified with the mind. But there is a space. And so, what is our first law of Vedanta? What is the first law of Vedanta? Whatever I can watch, what is it? Inert. Whatever I can watch is Jada or Chetana? Jada. No, but I want to watch Chetana. Sorry. You can't watch Chetana. And you need not watch Chetana. Why? Because it is you and it is self-evident. Self-evident I, there is no need to watch. Because it is already there. Being the mind is inert, is it made up of parts? Yes, it is put together. Mind is also put together. How is it put together? The samashti, sattvikamsha of the 5 elements. It is put together. The 5 sukshma elements came together, and then out of the 5 sukshma elements, the sattvika portion, that's also a part, it is put together. And then even if we don't go to the origin of the mind also, if you take it generally, comprises ahankara, chittam, buddhi and manaha. That's all put together. It's made up of parts. You are correct in that. And yeah, then in verse number 56 of Panchadashi, while talking about samadhi, you had mentioned that even the sakshi is resolved. Yes. And what had I said? Yes, sakshi, no samadhi. Correct. I thought sakshi is I. what is Sakshi resolving into? Isn't I and the Sakshi one and the same? Not quite. Sakshi comes very close to Chaitanya, but Sakshi, Chaitanya is what? Me as the observer. So, this is the relational reality. If there is something to observe, what is there? I am there. I am there and I am observing. If there is nothing to observe, what happens? The Sakshi resolves into I. Oh, but what is the I observing? Nothing. Who is observing the I? I. I itself doesn't need to be observed. Drigeva natu drishyate. This is what the Sakshi resolves into the I. Where does the I resolve? The I does not resolve at all. Next one. How to know if we are taking the best decisions? We wait till the karma phala comes. Yeah. That's the only way. Correct? Yeah. And also in the process of decisions, so if the karma phala comes and it feels wrong, next time we correct ourselves. And then also, while doing something, if it seems extremely difficult, it's like mountain climbing, and you're not particularly good at mountain climbing, and it feels like mountain climbing, then we have to reassess. Because things in life, generally speaking, should not be that tough. It should not be like going uphill, uphill, uphill all the time. Sometimes, yes, it is difficult, but many times it should be straightforward. And so, what do? We just allow this to, just go with the flow. How to train the buddhi to be more decisive. So, make a decision. Think of Bhagavan and make a decision. Put 2 chits of paper in front of your altar. Say yes in one and no in the other. Don't cheat. Fold them exactly the same. Shuffle them. Put them. Pick one. And then say, oh, it said no. Ayo. What to do now? Let me do 2 out of 3. Don't do that. No. After 2 out of 3, then 3 out of 5. Then Bhagavan will just go to sleep, okay? Yeah. It will stop working. It only works if you just take the decision and stick with it. And not have FOMO. What did I miss out? Oh no. And what was the other thing you said?
Jomo.
Yeah. JOMO. This is the opposite of FOMO. Joy of missing out. Yeah. This is in Vedanta. You have lot of JOMO, joy of missing out all the things that are happening outside the ashram gates. All right. And so like this. So this is FOMO. So this, because of FOMO, the decisions, fear of missing out, that it is difficult to take decisions. What if I do the wrong thing? You can't do the wrong thing. What is wrong? Nothing is wrong. Even if something wrong happens, or if something you don't like happens, then you will do something again. And so you will do it again. So take the decision and stick to it. Don't just, wait till the last minute, and don't wait for life to lead you. You are supposed to lead life. Okay? Unless you are a sadhu, then you can let life lead you. No problem. But until that time, you have to lead the life. Kindly give tips for memorizing Sanskrit rules. Take a pill called Jnana Valli. Seriously, yes. You can get it from Anekatti, and then people used to buy them in bulk when I was studying, and then I don't know if it is still around, but boy, is it effective, really, yeah. It's not miraculous, but it is effective. What is that? Brahmi. Brahmi is a herb that it cools the mind Don't take it if you have, what is that called? Low blood pressure. Yeah. Don't take it if you have low blood pressure. If you have low blood pressure, then do not take this Jnana Valli. Otherwise, you can take it, and it cools the mind. First, it removes the anxiety, because the anxiety makes the rules very difficult. Ramaha Ramo, oh no, I'm going to forget it. Yeah. And then, everybody thinks in patterns. That's the first thing. So, remove any external pratibandhas. What are the external pratibandhas? Connected to the memory and all these things. And after removing the external pratibandhas, then that calmness must be there to see patterns, because everybody learns in patterns. So if you have these rules, so like for example, even in Paninian rules, they are very helpfully, see things like Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi, especially the commentaries, put all the rules pertaining to certain operations in one particular place, called Prakarana. And then we can make our own Prakaranas, like It Prakaranam will have this many sutras. And even a simple table, like Ramaha Ramau Ramaha, there is a pattern. Ramaha Ramau Ramaha. Then first thing to see is how many times the word Ramaha comes, where all it comes. Bhyam, 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 how many times it comes? Bihi, bihi, how many times it comes? Yoho, yoho, how many times it comes? And then already there is a pattern. And then if the heart is calm and the mind is rested, then recall the patterns. And then the rules will come. And then the final tip is to pray. Pray, pray, pray to Bhagavan, to open the mind and chant Medha Suktam even in your sleep. Really. And you know what? We have something to look forward to, because Panini's story you don't know. Panini was a Buddhu, not Buddha. Buddhu. Buddhu means, what is that, Mudha, dull, manda. And his teacher would scold him and throw him out of the class in the Gurukula. Did you know that? Yeah. And he was crying, sitting outside the classroom. He was crying on most of the days. Nothing would go into his head. The only one who believed in him was the Acharya Patni, the wife of the teacher. And the wife of the teacher gave him something to eat and said, doesn't matter, you are a very good boy, you will learn all this. She blessed him. And then he became what? From Mudha Mati, he became Sharp Mati. He became Tikshna Mati. He became very, what's the word for it? Very clever and sharp, and he could think. So everybody has a way of learning. Find out what is your method. We may say many methods, but that may not work for you. Find out your own groove of connecting to the language. And it's like a computer language. It really has got a lot of pattern. In fact, this question should read like this. Please give me some tips on memorizing rules for the English language. Because it is completely arbitrary. PUT is what? But. BUT? But. What is the difference? Why? Why is PUT put and BUT but? No explanation. Arbitrary. But Sanskritam, there will be an explanation why it is like this. Even a single letter will have a complete explanation why this got substituted, why this got changed. Do cringe, this is the root verb. To do. Do cringe. Do pachash. Do dan. Dane. All these certain words start with the do. What is this do? What is this big to-do about them starting with do? And the do is dropped after seeing what it is there for. Very ingenious method. So why is the do there? So all the root verbs that begin with do, they take a particular suffix. Kru plus trim, kritrimam, paktrimam, datrimam. So kritrimam means doing something artificially, like artificial flowers are called kritrimam. This is not real, this is artificial. So to be able to take this particular pratyaya, the do is the indicatory letter in the beginning. So like that, sometimes it ends in ang. And then what is that? It is the particular swara. It shows that it is udatta swara. All these things. So there is a indication. So it is a very orderly language. And if we take away the stress out of it and find where to connect with it, the love for Sanskritam will grow, and when the love grows, then you will become very close to it. The rules will not be a problem. This is done, this is done. 3 are left. In the Gita class, Swaminiji mentioned the difference between reaction and response. Reaction being without Shanti, response being with Shanti and without Prativachanam. May you please guide us how we Vedanta students can shift or sublimate reaction to response in daily life. Take some time to respond. Immediately what will come out is reaction. So count from 100. Yeah. Safe. Not 10. It's not enough. Yeah. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're an idiot. You'll still come. What happened? Nothing happened. No space was gained. 99, 98, 97. Oh, the person is still an idiot. 95, 96, 94, 93, 92, 91. Then finally the breathing itself comes, it's all in the breathing, really. So if the breathing is disturbed, the mind is disturbed, the thought pattern is disturbed. And then what comes out of the mouth is also what? Disturbed. So then, the quickest way is to really stabilize the breathing. And then what? There is a calmness that comes. And then from that standpoint, and then you can even tell them, right now I'm really upset with you, I'll talk to you later. You can tell them that. There is no rule that says you have to respond immediately. No, you can respond 3 days later or even 3 years later. That is the main thing to do. So the response should be a little delayed so that you have a time to compose yourself. Since I arrived at the ashram, one of my goals is to reduce the sense of jivatvam, individuality, not stand out in a group setup, and to merge into totality instead of insisting on one's own wants and desires. All these are required not only for raga dvesha nivritti, removal of likes, but also for kshanti, accommodation towards other people, with an understanding that she or he has behaved in a certain way. Give some better advice as to how one can cultivate these, considering my desire to reduce the sense of individuality. See Sarvatma in all. See Atma in all, number one. And secondly, understanding the meaning of the 24th verse of the 4th chapter. What is that? Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagnau, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaivate nagantavyam, Brahmakarma samadhina. Who is getting angry? Brahman. Upon who am I getting angry? Brahman. And what is anger? Brahman. Everything is Brahman. So, that what, the Karakas, first we study Ramaha, Ramau, Ramaha, Ramena, Ramaya, Ramat, all these things. From Rama to Rama, by Rama, of Rama, with Rama, without Rama, all these things we study. only to give up all the karakas when it comes to Atma Jnanam. No karakas. Karaka Upamardanam. All the karakas are gone. Gone, gone, gone. How? How are they gone? In the light of the understanding that there is only Atma. So this is how it is. So first we do Pratipaksha Bhava. They must be undergoing something. We don't know what it is. We give them the space. Let them be. And then I manage only my own reactions and my own pain, and don't worry about their pain or their anger, and then from there proceed. And then the pressure that is there to share that or to talk about that is not there. It should not be there. Then finally, during satsang the other day, Swaminiji answered, smile when you don't feel like it and be cheerful, to a question asking for the tip to apply Vedanta in daily life. Please elaborate how to the ability to smile, how the ability to smile during difficult times and have cheerfulness helps one to better assimilate Jiveshwara Aikyam, the oneness of Jiva and Ishvara. That's very simple. So I don't feel like smiling. Yeah, this is what Pujya Swamiji used to say, fake it and make it. This is how even in emoji language people say smile. I don't feel like smiling. Smile, they go like this. You have to smile. Because the smiling is the natural response of the person. That is as authentic as it gets, because the Atma is what? Ananda. And so this individual, this Atma, the Atma which is Ananda, Satyam Jnanam Anantam, Anandam, Brahma, what is that? It is free of sorrow, free of anger, free of pain, free of all those things. So if it is free of all those things, how will it show itself? By smiling. So if it is in this body, mind, sense complex, how will it show itself? Smiling. That is why, so even when I don't want to smile, I smile. I'm not faking it. Even though Pujya Swamiji used to say, fake it and make it, there is no faking. You are already being your authentic self. And so, it's not that you are in denial. No, you know it is difficult, but still you practice being cheerful. And the best way to practice being cheerful is to have an attitude of gratitude. Even the doctors are these days saying two things. Please meditate. And the second thing they are saying is keep a, what is that called? Gratitude journal. Before you sleep, you can even try this tonight. Write down 5 things that you are very happy and grateful for. 5 things that have made you happy recently, 3 things you are grateful for, something like this. You just jot them out down and go to sleep, and then look at them the next day or whenever you do this over a period of time, and look at that whenever you feel down. You look at all the things that make you happy, all the things that you are grateful for. Then you understand that this is a benign jagat and it is not out to get you. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet, asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritangamaya. Om purnamadah purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnamevavashishyate. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Shri